is Natalie Jones, and this is my cultural competence reflection video. What is culture? Culture refers to shared beliefs that are passed down from generation to generation. We're all products of our grandparents and our parents and their belief systems, and we're most likely to believe as they believed and pass those values and beliefs on to our children. Cultural diversity is a term that's been around for many, many years. However, its meaning and importance sometimes is not really understood. And not only does one's culture shape their ideas and ways of life, it shapes who they are as a person as well. We live in a melting pot of diversity, and our society is made up of people from every walk of life. And although everyone claims to be accepting of these differences, that's not always the case. Often people even keep their beliefs to themselves to avoid confrontational conversations, and that's just not something that should take place. Everyone should be proud of who they are. As an educator, knowing one's students on a personal level is a crucial element to provide them with the means to succeed academically. On the topic of cultural competence, learning about the different cultures is something that can be done to really ensure that we're providing students with everything that they need. I did some research and I learned about some of the differences among different cultures. And for instance, in Thailand, it's completely inappropriate to touch another student's head. That's considered disrespectful. So something that we take for granted doing, like when children are in line, you're doing a head count, touching their head, that's completely inappropriate there. In Germany, giving a thumbs up, like, hey, good job, is actually like flipping them off. In Vietnam, they signal with the finger pointed downward instead of pointed upward like we would. If you signal and say, hey, come here, with your finger pointed upward, that's actually like calling them a dog. So that's very disrespectful. So knowing these differences can really lead you to understand and understand why people believe the way that they do or why they act the way that they do from different cultures. On the cultural competence continuum chart, I see myself somewhere between 4 and 5. I know that everyone should value diversity, and it's something that I strive to do. I try to find the good in people and agree to disagree on topics that we, can't find a happy medium. However, I do catch myself stereotyping certain groups of people, which is something that I will have to work on before I begin my career as an educator. Not that I would ever act on those thoughts. I do believe, though, that thoughts can influence your behavior. Something that kind of relates to this topic is prayer in schools. I grew up in a Christian household, attended a private Christian school before my parents homeschooled, so I've never had um, that public school experience. So that's something that's going to be hard for me to accept, is that you cannot pray in schools. But however, I do know that people believe differently, and not everyone agrees and thinks the way that I do, and I have to respect that. What will it take to deepen my cultural competence? It's going to take learning about different cultures. I'm one of those people that likes to dive into the why and know why things are done the way that they are. And once I understand that, then I can accept it. So I think that I'm going to need to learn about every different culture possible and seek to understand why. I think that's going to help me tremendously. Having that knowledge will provide my understanding, which will improve my cultural competence. Some specific research and reading tools, different resources that can help with cultural competence. There's the internet, which has an unlimited resource. It's an unlimited resource tool. The only thing with the internet is you have to make sure that you are really receiving credible information. Literature, the library is full of different literature. Mission work is another great way that you can help people while you're learning about different cultures. Also, I think that consulting with different educators who have been doing this longer is a great way to find out, different advice and tips of things that might work with certain students, certain groups. What will cultural inclusivity look like in my classroom? I plan to lead by example. I think that children exhibit the behavior often that they see. So I think that if they see me acting in a respectful manner, then they're most likely to exhibit that behavior themselves. I'm also going to try to incorporate cultural history into my lessons. Really try to focus on the positivity and the uniqueness of the different cultures to really show that diversity is a good thing. How boring would it be if everyone was the same. So that's something I'll do as well. To ensure that I'm respecting my students regardless of my personal beliefs, I think I can look at this in several different ways. As a mother, I know that I want to be the main influence for my children. Every parent deserves that respect. I don't want anybody else shaping or molding them into who they are. I want to be the one to do that. So um, I know that I don't have the right to try to shape or mold another person's child. That is that's their parental right, and I would never try to take that away from them. And also, I have a background in nursing, so I did learn early on how to separate my personal beliefs or my emotions from my professional duties, because you cannot act with sound judgment if you are um, being too personally involved. So that's something that's going to help me as well. Thank you.